You hear all the bull about marketing every day. Make your money in your sleep. My new offer is crushing it. My guru could beat up your guru. It's time to go right to the source and get the truth about marketing. With your host, the founder of copychief.com, Kevin Rogers.
Hey, welcome back to The Truth About Marketing. It's Kevin Rogers. And Chad Collins is on the show today. Chad has an amazing story that's going to be very inspirational for you, especially if you're a parent running a business, if you are someone who dreams of breaking out of your day job, your career, and taking on a new path. You're really going to be inspired today to hear Chad's story about how he was able to do that and the kind of business he created. So we're going to dive right in. Chad, thanks so much for being on this call today with me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Let's have some fun, Kevin.
Yeah, this would be great. So let's just start a little bit from the beginning, if you don't mind. Before we even reveal the kind of business you created, talk to me about where you were before, because I don't think you were like in a miserable situation at your job, right? But
no, yeah. I mean, I actually loved it. And I loved my entire career. What started as engineer for Lockheed Martin, which turned into business management and sales, working with municipalities. I was able to accomplish a lot of really fun stuff, work for companies that I loved contributing myself to, enjoyed the people I worked with. And at the end of the day, I was doing a ton of travel, a lot of travel. And, once you start to have that family come in and you're spending more time away than you are at home, then you start to think about, well, how can I flip it back the other way?
Yeah.
And, it was those thoughts that had me going. But like inside, I always felt like the entrepreneurial spirit was there. Mm-hmm. And it was just a matter of finding what that one thing was going to be to finally, help me break free.
So it's not like you were actively looking for something or like reading, every article about how to become an entrepreneur, or it wasn't an active campaign to make a change, but that you felt the spirit within.
Yeah, look, our family, like I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I've seen the ups and downs of what it is to have your own business. Yeah. You have some really strong years, and then the economy turns and you can have some downturns. And I witnessed that and thought to myself, I never want to be in that position. I always want to be able to have something steady for my family. Mm. And so that, so I was very happy, going to work and putting in the hours and, contributing really my life to someone else's cause. I think that was okay. Mm-hmm. I justified it that way.
Stability. Yeah.
Yeah. Stability.
Yeah. Great.
But look, a frog must jump. So
yeah. All right. So let's talk about the spark of inspiration and how suddenly it's like, whoa, this is a thing now. And it was like not even a choice. I don't think you just had to keep going with it.
Yeah, we did. And it all comes down to my daughter. We went to the Lego store at our mall, and I came home with like a container full of Lego bricks. And she was 7 years old at the time. And we started going through them together. She got really excited. I got really excited. I was a Lego kid growing up, but really hadn't touched it in some time. And she went right to YouTube. Like after we played, she went right to YouTube and just started typing in Lego reviews, and started watching other people enjoy this toy and enjoy this experience of Lego. And she came to me and said, "Hey, Dad, can we create our own YouTube channel?" And, I'm always a yes first kind of a person. Like I will say yes, and let's just do this together. So it was like for me, it was more like, we could have this thing that we share, me and my daughter together. Yeah. This will be our little channel. And really didn't think anything more of it than we'll put some stuff out there into the world. And what happened was the response that we got on the second video that we posted showed me that there was more to just building ourselves and enjoying it, that there were literally thousands of other people out there that were looking at what we were doing, commenting, and asking us for more videos, which kind of really blew this whole world open for us on how to communicate with people. And the fact that there was a community outside of our playroom of people that love Lego, right?
Yeah, which is something that probably just would not have existed a few years ago, right? And my daughter is 9 now, and she would be very content if all the TVs were removed from the house and she could just watch YouTube on a phone or an iPad or something.
Yep.
And it's really fascinating, the shift that we're all, I think, kind of getting our heads around. How old are you, Chad?
38.
You're 38. So, yeah, I'm 45. So we pretty much grew up in the same kind of atmosphere. You probably had MTV before you became a teen.
Yeah, had MTV.
But MTV happened when I was a teen, right? And it was just the biggest event in the world. And, I guess that's when this kind of shared idea. I just couldn't believe I was seeing the bands I heard on the radio, right? Wow, that's what they look like, right? And now you can just find people doing anything that you're interested in, communities. So what was it like for you to suddenly realize, wow, like we just did, my daughter asked me to, I thought, yes, this would be a great learning experience, something fun to do together. And now you've got an audience. Like, what does that do to you as a dad and just, a human being walking the earth in this day and age?
Yeah, it's interesting. So it really motivated us. I was finding myself, running to Target and Toys R Us on a regular basis after work just to buy something and take it home and, shoot videos together, play with it and shoot videos together and talk about it. And then like some really interesting stuff started to happen. Like we got all these parts and then we needed to store them someplace and we needed to like have them organized.
Right.
And, went on Amazon and bought, like something that you would put your nuts and bolts in. Mm-hmm. And we did a review on that case, just on here's how we're storing our Lego. Maybe you'll like this. Like, here's a link, go find it on Amazon. And what happened was we got an email from that company that we did a review on, thanking us and saying, hey, what's your address? We want to send something for Jordan. So like a week later, we literally got a dozen of these storage cases sent to us directly from the company. And then the week after that, the CEO of the company sent us a $50 gift card for Toys R Us so we could go buy more Lego.
Wow,
right?
Wow.
And now here's what's interesting. We didn't have a huge audience at that time. I'm saying, maybe a couple of hundred subscribers on YouTube. Nothing really big. But we started to see stuff like that happen. And that just, again, continued it. We just wanted to see how far we could go. Well, really me. I guess I wanted to see how far we could go. Jordan was like along for the ride. She just loved making videos, right?
Right. And so what kind of effort would you put into the videos? Are they pretty raw? Did you start to evolve into how you might edit them and putting up, titles and stuff?
Yeah. In the beginning, I mean, you could look at it. I mean, in the beginning, literally like her iPad leaned up against the couch and we're just shooting videos and talking and like not much editing. And then toward the end, it was like, intro, theme song, on screen. We got better equipment. So the production quality improved over time and, was learning how to do video, but it was fun.
That's great. Awesome. All right. So now let's bring back to the context of when does it become apparent to you that this could be a revenue model?
When YouTube says, hey, do you want to monetize this video? This video is performing well. Do you want to monetize it? Now, back when we started, it wasn't the case where you could launch a channel and then the next day have your videos monetized. Mm-hmm. So you needed to have some history and some performance before YouTube would kind of allow that.
And what year was this?
It was the end of 2013.
Okay. So
no, or 2012, maybe 2012. So like toward the end of 2012, that starts happening. So that's when, we're creating pennies every day. But then it's like, well, all right, so we're creating a couple of pennies on this handful of videos. What if this scales up? What does that look like? And then I head to the internet and I start researching how you build an audience on YouTube and how you can create more of a revenue stream that's just kind of happening while you're out doing your daily life, your day job, you have this revenue stream coming in.
Yes.
So yes,
Passive income, the magic phrase. Yeah.
you got it. So yeah, and that I found Pat Flynn was the first website that I went to about passive income, naturally.
Yeah.
And then I got an iPhone, and then it was like I started listening to podcasts, and now every day, an hour to work, an hour back, my head is getting filled with all this knowledge.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So now you're starting to see, you have the thing that most people strive to create, which is interest. You have product, and it's like pretty easy to create and fun to create, right? And that's the dream. So love that you sort of accidentally stumbled upon the thing that most people struggle their whole careers sometimes as entrepreneurs to create.
Yeah. Look, I had a passion for Lego always, and it was nice that this project was able to like rekindle that for us and then turn it into a revenue stream. And like with the YouTube, the most we ever made on YouTube in a month, and I know it's going to sound like a lot for most people, but we were up to like $1,500 a month on YouTube. And you have some good months and some bad months depending. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for having fun, and you're going, wow, God, there's the car payments or whatever it is. It's like free stuff.
Yeah, and for us, it was like, cool. Well, now we could use this money to go buy Lego. Like, I don't have to come out of pocket for the Lego.
Yeah, this is probably a write-off if I play it right.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Okay, now this gets really interesting. Already, it's like, wow, I'm sure very inspiring if you're listening, and you hear all the time, just follow your passion. Do something you're passionate about, and you'll wake up every day and you'll never feel like work. Uh-huh. And just, an easier theory than a thing to actually accomplish. So it's really inspiring when we hear that it can unfold that way if you just sort of let it happen and react. And, I want to point out that it started as I love what you said, I'm a yes man first, right? And, your daughter asked you something that it'd be easy to find reasons not to do, and you said, yeah, let's try it. That'll be fun. Mm-hmm. And so it's a lot like Lego themselves. It's just like you just immersed in it and had a good time, and that became the vehicle, right? I love that. So now let's talk about how this thing grew and what it is now. It's just mind-blowing.
Right. Well, we wanted to begin to create some exclusive content. And so now, like, I'll fast forward. The channel now has over about 12 million total video views. Wow. And that's for like 500 videos that we put up over a few years. Wow. And we wanted to create content that you couldn't get on other channels. Like, anyone can go to the Lego store or Target and buy a Lego set and open it up on YouTube. Yeah. But we felt like we wanted to go to an event and show people that, all right, there's this whole community on YouTube that's all about Lego, but there are also these places that you can gather and meet each other in person. And I thought, being from the Philadelphia area, well, it's the 5th biggest market in the United States. There has to be a Lego event locally, right? Go to the Google and try and find one. And there's nothing like even close. Like, the closest Lego event was several states away. So that's when like the in the shower moment happens, where it's, well, if there isn't one here and there's all this demand for it, why not? Let's go for it. Let's create our own convention. Wow. And so we started, and through the growth of our YouTube channel, and you hear this all the time, like, give first, like give, produce all this content. Right. So we're just naturally putting it out there. We're making contacts with Lego, who are inviting us to Toy Fair to video all of their sets before they come out, to like build more excitement for when they finally do come out. Yeah. So we have a relationship with Lego. We have a relationship with all of these third-party vendors that sell like Lego themed merchandise, because they're sending us stuff to review. So when the idea came to create our own event, we already had this backlog of people that we could call and say, if we had an event, would you participate? And it was just like, yes. So that's when I knew, like, all right, cool. Like, we have something here. It has legs, and let's just keep moving forward. Interesting.
So again, now you saw a need because it was instinctively what you wanted as an evolution into this, journey. Yep. And then you said, why not us? Why not us create it? But that doesn't mean it wasn't, must have been an epic task to pull. How big was the first one?
Yeah, the first one, we found a room that was 20,000 square feet, and we thought that would be great. And we went and put tickets on sale, did some creative promotions, and we moved like 5,000 tickets in the first weekend.
Wow.
And we quickly went back to the venue and said, hey, you got a bigger room. And we were able to upgrade to a bigger room. So that first event, now we got a lot of help here from the Lego movie. It was also the same year the Lego movie came out. So we had that big bump, and it was just Lego mania happening.
Yeah.
So the first event we had over 24,000 people over 2 weeks.
Wow. Holy I mean, how do you even step up to that? Because it just must be so many facets of an event that size that you can't know until you're faced with it. I mean, security, insurance, logistics, like how do you move people through it?
All of that. Hey, ignorance is bliss.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we had to learn all that. We had to figure it out. So like, I want to back up for like 1 second. Like you said, the whole follow your passion and everything like that. And you hear it all the time, but it's great. You can follow your passion, but you also have to be able to get your hands dirty. You got to be able to execute, and you got to have confidence in yourself that you're going to be able to execute. And one thing, I'll tell you, this whole going to work for someone else and working with Fortune 500 companies and startups gave me the confidence that I would be able to produce something at this scale and really believe in your own skill set that you can pull it off. I mean, from contract negotiations to hiring, subcontractors to do your decorating, your security, right? Food service, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of moving parts, but if you have an implementation process that you're comfortable with, that you use, then it really doesn't matter what the task is. It doesn't matter at all what the task is. If you have a very disciplined process and you're able to follow it, then you're able to implement anything.
Yeah. So is that where the engineering background probably served you pretty well?
Yeah, I think so. It was engineering. So like, look, as a Lego kid, right, I became an engineer, right? Mm-hmm. And when I say engineer, it was more in a technical sense. So it was managing, networks, having computers talk to each other.
Right.
And it was that, and I just became, a decent implementer. I was able to see what the end result of a project should look like, and then be able to say, all right, if this is the end of the project, what are all the tasks that need to happen before we get there? And just lay them out on a calendar. And you have to do it like you have to calendarize everything. Yeah. And then just, just methodically go through task by task by task.
Yeah, it's a great lesson for any marketing or even copywriting. I always talk, because I have a background in stand-up comedy, and I say, when you know the punchline, it's a lot easier to write the joke.
It's the same concept.
Yeah, your options are kind of unlimited how you get into it, right? But if you don't know the punchline, you can wander around forever. So I'm curious, Chad, you're making these videos and 12 million views, mm-hmm. and here you are with your young daughter. Did it ever get weird, or did you ever have apprehensions about having her on video like this?
That's an excellent question. And it's a conversation that we had together as a family.
Yeah.
Where it was, this is happening. There's notoriety. We do our events now. She still gets recognized at an event. Like she'll have people wanting to take selfies with her.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah.
And, Carrie, my wife, was all for it. She's like, yeah, it was fine with her. It was fine with Jordan. And it was okay with us. It was okay with me. So we kept going. So, it never got weird. If anything, it was like the opposite. It's been a lot of fun. And she's had some really wild stuff happen. My daughter, Time for Kids reached out, and they came to an event and did a story on her, and her classmates were doing homework assignments on her.
Wow.
Right. Because Time for Kids is national, and they use it as, curriculum in some classes. And yeah, there's my daughter on the homepage.
That's crazy. Now, so that wasn't strange for her either. I met you and your wife, and you guys are just so laid back and cool and in the moment. So I gather she's the same and just goes with the flow. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a great team. It's good to have someone that kind of, it's someone that gets you, someone that gets it. And it's like, all right, let's see where this takes us. And we ride it out together.
Amazing. And to just close this loop on that we started about going from, happily employed, enjoying that stability to now having to make this leap and go, thing is too big to ignore, and it's going to take all my energy. So how did that moment go down?
That moment, that was a great moment. So we had planned, so tickets were selling well for our very first event, and I had planned to leave in March. So our first event was happening in April. So the plan was to leave in March, and then after that event, we'd be able to just focus on this full time. The ticket sales were strong, and then we knew we were going to start putting up other shows. We knew we were going to start to expand this. Why just do one show when you can virtually do an unlimited number of shows if you play your cards right?
Yeah.
And so we knew that was the plan. And I'm driving in to work, listening to my podcasts, and the texts start coming in about projects that we have going on. And by that time, it's like you're already able to like replace the income that you've been making.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the holdup anymore. It was just, you want to finish up, you want to tie up all your loose ends before you go. But it was, an in the moment kind of conversation where these text messages are coming in, and I called my wife and said, I think I'm going to go in when I get to the office, I'm going to give my notice. And that was December. And she said, well, I thought it was going to be March. It's like, well, it's going to be today. And she said, as long as, you're saying that, nothing too much is going to change for us from a financial standpoint, then go ahead. So that day I went in and gave my notice and, hung around for a few more weeks. And we've been doing this ever since.
Wow. Incredible. And what year was that?
That was the end of 2013.
Wow. So
because our first event was April 2014.
Right,
so that was end of 2013.
Yeah. Incredible. What an amazing story. And now it's become such a cool thing. Well, we got to talk about, Brick Swag in the unboxing. Let's just go into it now because I'm dying to get to the essential question. I just want to talk about this aspect of it because you surprised me and sent me one of your boxes, and I unboxed it. I didn't even know that was a part of it, that people made videos of themselves unboxing it. It's interesting that that's such an instinctive thing to do because it's so exciting to get a box and kind of not know what's in there, right? And it's just instinctive to share that experience. So I opened the box on a hangout with my copychief community, and we had a great time looking at everything in there. And so, talk to me about the box aspect. I think because also that's another thing that people have entrepreneurial fantasies about. Oh, I could create a killer box, and it's like logistically what really goes into that. So talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, there's a box for everything now, right?
Yeah. I got MeUndies coming every month,
I just signed up. I think my wife is getting me that.
Oh, man, you're going to love them. It sounds weird to say, but you can wear them for 2 days. You won't even notice that you've been wearing them for 2 days. That's probably not the best ad I could give them or endorsement, but that's to me that was the hidden bonus. It's like I'm not taking these off, and they feel clean, so I'm good.
So Brick Swag is our monthly membership for Lego fans. Like we call it the Lego Lifestyle Box. So every month we're sending out an exclusive Lego themed T-shirt. You saw there was a magazine in there, some Lego building kits, trading cards, and some other surprises that we put in every month. And the way that came about, look, we saw what was happening with online and all these different like comic boxes that were out there, and there wasn't anything that was like specifically like brick or Lego themed. So the concept sat around for a while, and And finally we said, all right, let's test this. Let's go for it. And luckily for us, we have our own shows and we can be our own merchant. We can set up our own vendor booth at our own show. So we tested it at one of our shows and it performed really well. And that was kind of our indication that, maybe we should focus on it and build it out like its own business and really, put a little more effort into it. And we've done that. So we've had BrickSwag going for a little over a year now. And we're really hoping that this holiday season is when it starts to take off and, maybe double or even triple the number of members that we have.
Yeah. And what a cool gift to give, because it literally is the gift that would keep on giving.
Yeah. Yep. Every month.
And, it's funny. I one time had this brilliant idea about, as a Christmas gift, I gave somebody like a beer club, right?
Yeah. Perfect.
And like years or months later, I said, "Hey, man, how are you enjoying the beer?" And he goes, "Well, I got to tell you, it's a wonderful thought. It's really nice of you." He goes, "But I don't have my mail delivered to the house. I go pick it up." He goes, "So it started out a nice surprise, and now I curse you as I carry, like 4 6-packs from," and he lives in San Francisco, so it wasn't just like he has to walk to his car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's why a box is a much better option if you're considering this. But interested to, and then people love to, like I did, video themselves opening the box and then share that. So everybody needs to go to brickswag.com and watch the video of kids and adults unboxing their BrickSwag. It's really awesome to watch. And that's the exact feeling you'll have when you get this box. And so I'm curious, Chad, like where is BrickSwag in, as a revenue earner in the scale of your business now compared to, say, the events?
Well, the events we're doing like 10 to 12 shows a year.
Okay. Yeah.
So BrickSwag is probably in the 20% in the grand scheme of things, about 20% revenue.
Yeah.
Now that's right now, but we're talking now. It's the first week of November, and this is like these next 6 weeks are the weeks where we're really thinking that it can pick up. So I think if we had this conversation 2 months from now,
right,
it might be a different picture, because I think a lot of it depends on how well it performs and how well we can promote it this holiday season.
Yeah, and what a fun thing to do is like fill a box of happiness for people and have it, sort of automatically go out, and you're just like dropping happy bombs all over the world.
Yeah, well, so I see it the same way. I mean, there's like the 3 key words we throw around a lot here are inspire, educate, and entertain. So we know we do that at our shows, and we thought, well, what if we could take all of that and put it in a box every month and inspire, educate, and entertain in the box. And that's why, a lot of boxes that go out there, the magazine is like the throwaway item. It's like a couple of pages of like nonsense. But we pack ours with, interviews from, from people that have built some really amazing stuff. We have building tips and tutorials in there. So we show you that you could build other stuff with the Lego that you already have at home that's like sitting in the bin. And we're saying, look, you got all that Lego sitting in a bin. Why don't you try building something with this technique? So we try and educate a bit, with some of the written parts of the box.
I noticed that I thought that was a really engaging part of the box. You have a review in here of the Wally set.
Yep.
And this is the type of stuff that Lego enthusiasts geek on, right? It's like, you're speaking my language. I care about this. Such a huge engagement tool. And talk to me about the cards. That was really fascinating to me, these trading cards.
Yeah, funky fig cards. Oh man, that was like so fun to put together. And look, it's a combination between like Lego minifigures and Garbage Pail Kid cards.
Right.
So that was the whole idea. Is like, can we come up with some really creative names and give them little personalities and work with artists? So the fun part about that is like every month they look a little bit different. And that's because we work with different artists almost every month.
Oh, wow.
And we're able to, and we kind of let the artists like go crazy with it. So we'll just say, here's the name and here's like the character's theme. And then the artist comes back with some work, and, you know, usually we love it and we put it on the card and it's in the box the next month. Wow.
So that makes it a true collector's item, because they're never the same. It's never going to be like, you know, Chuck Steak looks a lot like, you know, Wandering Willie from 4 months ago. They're getting lazy over there. It's going to be a true collector's item. And so is the idea that people will kind of, you know, trade these through mail or at events?
You're right. Yeah, I mean, right now the idea is that they're just going to have them. Like everyone gets the same ones every single month, the way it is right now.
Yeah.
And we want to get to a point where we can run off a couple of hundred different ones at a time and actually package them up so they're just not loose in the box. So then it would truly be, you know, randomized. You don't know which ones you're going to get, and they would be tradable. But the way it stands now, you depending on when you sign in, when you sign up, like you're going to get the same ones every single month. And the only ones you're going to be missing are the ones that were in the prior month's boxes that you don't have access to.
Yeah, so that's great. So it's a personal experience for everyone.
Yep.
So cool, so cool. All right, Chad, let's get to the big epic question. I'm excited because you didn't tell me what it is, but you did tell me it's it's something that just happened. So here it is. What is the one thing you've done in your marketing that's produced the most surprising result?
All right. And it has to do with BrickSwag, so I'm glad we were just talking about it. So with BrickSwag, we launched and we had 3 membership options. We had a monthly plan, a 3-month plan, and a 6-month plan. And we ran for an entire year with those 3 options. And then we started getting emails from some of our members, and really from people that didn't become members yet. And they said, is there a way where we could just sign up for a year? Like all at one time. Like I don't want to have my credit card like rerun every 3 months or every 6 months. I just want to pay for a year in advance. And we didn't have that option available. So we just went through like our relaunch of the website, and we thought, well, if we're going to like redo the whole website, we might as well include this 1-year option. And interestingly, what we did is we took the old 6-month price and we increased it. So we made that more expensive. And we created an annual plan, and we just used like the same pricing that we had for 6 months, but now, you know, like $20 a month, but that gets you the whole year. And we had some email drops go out last week, and 30% of all new members chose the annual plan.
Wow.
And I was shocked. I did not see that coming. And it made me realize, man, if we would have had this option, like a year ago, it would have really changed like the top line revenue for the last 12 months. Imagine now 30% of all your customers are paying for the whole year up front.
Yeah.
You know, it starts to change things. And, you know, we would have been probably be able to invest more into marketing, and it probably would have grown a bit faster.
Right.
So that was pretty shocking to me, and it was a great surprise. And now, you know, it's something that we can count on. So when we are figuring out how we're going to market it for the remainder of the year, our average take per new membership just increased significantly.
That's awesome. So cool. And I noticed that, and it's so many things you could test within that, right? Like there's the free exclusive tea when you sign up for the year.
Yep.
So you could play with different premiums. Really cool. Wow. I tell you, as somebody who has a membership community and does not currently offer an annual plan, I'm super excited.
And that's the thing. It's that whole, it's the whole, there's always a portion of your community that is willing to pay up for additional service or additional access, right?
Yeah.
And you hear these things all the time, and we're just starting to play with it. Oh, I'll tell you what, there's another thing that recently surprised me. And this has to do with our events. We only ever sold like 1 ticket option for our event. So it was, we charge between $15 and $22 a ticket to come in, depending on where we are. So, but that was it. So $15 or $22, and you could come in. And we said, well, what if we created a VIP experience? And we threw in some, merchandise and maybe a private tour of the event. And you didn't have to wait in a line. You could just get right in. We'll send you a lanyard ahead of time, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. And it was like 8%. Like we just ran that, and like 8% of the people purchased the VIP experience for $75, right? Wow. Instead of 15.
Wow.
So that was like, look, if you have an audience, if you're already out there and you're putting out products or services, create that exclusive tier, like create that next level up.
Yeah.
Provide some more value, and there's a portion of your audience guaranteed that's going to take you up on it.
Yeah, and I love the idea here because this is all happening so organically with you and this experience, and you're just responding to the opportunities and what people are asking for. And it's an important distinction here. It's not about what can I get away with charging, right? Like that's the mindset I think that locks people down a little bit. It's about understanding, wow, this would be, I love that you have, it says sweet on the one-year offer, because that's exactly the reaction, right? To that or a VIP experience. You're like, awesome, even better. So that's a huge takeaway, is like, don't assume there aren't people out there who would be really thankful for the opportunity to pay a little more and have an exclusive experience. It feels good. It's great when, a concert comes to town or something and you go, you know what, let's go all out and make this an experience to remember forever. It's all relative. Like you said, Chad, there's people out there, with the means and who value the experience and will be really thankful for you for creating it for them.
There's no doubt. And it's good. Like we didn't know, like for the VIP experience, like we had no idea people would take us up on it. Mm-hmm. And it's just like what you said. There are people that want. For us, it's we have a kids event and the kids bring their parents. So for us, it's the parents wanting to provide the best experience for their child, and they're saying, now we're going to have all this exclusive access and we're going to get this exclusive merchandise, and they just want to have like the most enjoyable time they can. Yeah,
awesome, so cool, wow. And so Lego is cool with this. Yeah, they're not like uptight about, you using their name, or, I mean, obviously you're not like stealing their trademark or anything, but they've been sounds like a pretty cool partner.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are rules. We'll be the first to tell you that, we draft the largest toy company in the world. Mm-hmm. They are the number one from a revenue standpoint toy company in the world. They have a rabid fan base. Wow. And what we're doing is we're providing that fan base with something that they can't get necessarily from Lego directly in the markets that we have our shows at, or with this membership club that we have. So when we go out and we say we're Brickfest Live, we're Brickfest Live, a Lego fan event or a Lego convention or a Lego experience. We never use their intellectual property. Of course, that would be a violation. Mm-hmm. But we are able to say that it's a celebration of Lego, and we're able to run our events that way. So yeah, it's an independent production, and we're thrilled. Yeah, we love it.
Yeah. So if they were cool to you when it was like starting out, now that it's grown into this, I mean, they flying you around on private jets to come hang out at Necker Island with them, or how's that working?
You would think, right? No.
No, nothing.
Yes, So the first event we did, they had people there. They did a presentation during our private days and our public days. And since then, we've had meetings with them at their U.S. headquarters. We haven't been to Denmark yet, but we would love to get to Denmark and hang out with the folks over there. But, interestingly, like they have their own tour as well. So they license, like we get all like legally, they license their IP to a couple of different companies that do entertainment type things. So Legoland and the Lego Hotels and the Legoland Discovery Centers, a company called Merlin Entertainment has the IP for that. And the Merlin Entertainment also has like Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. It's like the same company.
Right. Okay, cool.
And then and they have another company, it was called LME. I think it's called like BuzzFeed or something like that now. But they do an event called Lego Kids Fest, which is, official Lego IP, and they do 6 or 7 shows per year, that bounce from different city to city all over the country. So I think if you talk to those companies, they wouldn't be as keen on us, because in that instance, there is a slight competitive thing happening.
Yeah.
But for the most part, anything that Lego has ever told us directly is any place where we do a show, there's an uptick in Lego sales, not only in the stores that are there, but also online.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Okay. So I know my final question,
All right.
but I want to quickly just have you talk about the Young Innovators Fair, because I think that's a super cool project.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. The Young Innovators Fair is a K through 12 science and tech event. So if you have children and they're in school, you might be hearing these buzzwords like STEM and STEAM come up, right? It stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And there have been a couple of events in our area, and typically they happen at a high school or an elementary school, where you go from room to room, and in each room there's a little science experiment that you do with the kids, and then you kind of go to the next room and you do another experiment or hear a talk about something. And there are other events where they'll have a girls' night, a girls' STEM night, and they'll bring in these speakers to come talk at an auditorium, and the children sit in the seat and they listen to these speakers that are achieving, really highly achieving in their fields. And really that's all that has existed so far in this from an event standpoint. It was, you go and have someone talk at you, or you can go and you can experience, these little science experiments, in these little classroom style evening activities. And I was preparing to do another event, actually. I have a business partner, Gabe Young, and we were working on this football event. We wanted to do an event for fantasy football. And he had just come back from one of these engineering nights and said, maybe we should think about doing an event that was STEM focused, but on a large scale. And literally 2 weeks later, we had canceled the football event and put all of our effort into this Young Innovators Fair. So now, the event is happening January 2nd and 3rd, 2016. And we have, massive giants like Google, Pixar, Khan Academy. We have local museums like the Academy of Natural Sciences and the Philadelphia Franklin Institute. Organizations like Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, working with Ronald McDonald House Charities, and independent speakers, over 100 different content partners that are either going to be exhibiting or speaking and inspiring our youth. And that event potentially could be bigger than any of the Brickfest events that we've ever done. And now it's not an event that we can tour with. It's a one-shot deal that we'll do annually. But, the theme of what we're trying to create are, and we've said it before, are events that children are dragging their parents around from place to place in the event.
Yeah. Right.
It's not a Comic-Con or a Maker Faire where they're generally for adults and they're bringing their kids and showing them, this is, your children are going to see something and they're going to be dragging you across the room because they want to experience something that they see.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. So exciting, man. Really cool. And so that is at younginnovatorsfair.com. Your list of sponsors is staggering. It's a dream list. I mean, anybody putting on an event would go, man, if I could have 5 of these, I feel like we really created something here. And it's a result of not only your savvy, but you're just, your friction-free, I think, mindset to all of this, Chad, is really, really admirable.
Oh, I like that. Friction-free.
Yeah.
I talk about that a lot, friction. There needs to be, talk about the word frictionless a lot. Friction. I like that you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, it's kind of our gig, right? Is if we want to have a lifestyle that we enjoy, it's not so much about, the passion is one thing, but then how do we remove the friction of celebrating that passion and then sort of getting paid for it and having other people, immerse in it with us. So cool. So I'll tell you a funny little story. And your daughter, Jordan, is how old now?
Jordan will be 11 next month.
Okay. So my daughter is 9. And this year for Halloween, she dressed as Mary Kay Ash from Mary Kay Cosmetics. And she didn't do it to be funny. She did it because she's obsessed with Mary Kay Ash.
Wow.
And this is just out of nowhere. She saw there was a recycled book fair at her school, and there was a biography of Mary Kay Ash, and she saw her picture, and she said, "What a beautiful woman," and for whatever reason became obsessed. And for me, as a dad and an entrepreneur, that is such a great gift, because it like opens the door to celebrate so many cool things that I want to discuss with her and inspire her about, right? Obviously entrepreneurialism and selling, and why selling is a great thing, and it's an art form, and this amazing, powerful woman who accomplished all these things. And so I'm curious, with Jordan being 11, and you guys have together created a major thing here. Mm-hmm. What is her reality of it, and how have you seen it inspire her, and maybe how you think that might manifest? Is she a total entrepreneur now, or what's been the inspiration from her point of view so far?
This is so much fun to talk about. So at our events, let's just back up. So at our events, she gets up on stage. Like we have trivia at each of our events where you do Lego trivia and give away prizes. Mm-hmm. But she is like the warm-up act. So she gets up there and she has half of the room say brick and the other half say fest, and then together say live, and she'll get up on stage and just rock it for like 5 minutes. Mm. And so that in and of itself, it's like she knows that the only reason this is happening is because I asked my dad if he would make a YouTube video with me. Right? She knows that cold, and she'll tell anyone that wants to listen. And so when she gets up there, she just automatically has that confidence, like I put myself here, right? I'm here because I helped create this. I was the inspiration behind this. And she knows that, and it's 100% true. It has bled over into her achieving at school, being on student council at school, coming up with cheers and leading her assemblies in cheers at school. And now she's now getting speaking gigs. So we're like on Sunday, we're going and speaking at a women in engineering conference. Wow. And, they wanted, us to come and talk about Young Innovators Fair. And, they heard the story with Jordan and, thought, well, wouldn't it be great if you and your daughter came and presented together to all of these women that are going to be in the room?
Wow.
Right. She's been interviewed on local radio stations, on TV here. It's just been, it's been phenomenal. So she gets it. And when you ask, do you see a little entrepreneur in her? I don't know. I hope so. Like, I really hope so. I mean, she'll tell anyone that, I want to work for my dad, or I want to do what my dad does. She says that. But she, I think, is going to have the confidence, to kind of write her own ticket.
Yeah.
And hopefully be able to figure that out. And knowing that she has a support system now in place that, will support her ideas, and we'll give her tips and pointers, and hopefully have her, achieve the dreams that she has. It doesn't necessarily have to be this. Doesn't have to be Brickfest Live. Doesn't have to be Young Innovators Fair.
Right.
It could be something that she comes up with on her own.
Awesome. I love it, Chad. Just super glad that we met and are becoming friends, and huge fan of everything you're doing, and how easy you're letting it be. I know it's not easy. It's a ton of work, and I look at logistically at what you've created, and I just go, like, just any one aspect of it would be really daunting. But you do it all in stride. You do it all with a smile and with passion. And to me, like, that's as inspiring as what you've created.
Oh, thanks for saying that, Kevin.
Yeah, man. So really appreciate your time being on the show. I know this is going to be wicked inspiring to a lot of people. And so I just want to remind everybody, please visit brickswag.com. You got to go watch the video there. Check out younginnovatorsfair.com. If you're a parent and looking to help inspire your child and about topics they may have an interest in or be totally passionate about or think they're not interested in. Come to Young Innovators Fair and just look at the beautiful way the information is laid out here, and I bet you'll find some new ways to engage with your child about this stuff. So thanks again for being on, Chad. Let's do it again, okay?
I'd love to. Anytime.
All right, talk soon, man. Bye. Hey, thanks again for listening to the Truth About Marketing podcast. If you like this show and you think other people would like this show, the best way to spread the word is by reviewing and rating the show in iTunes. Just log in, click review, leave a big old fat 5-star review, and let everybody know that you dig the show so that they can dig it too. To get all the links and resources we mentioned on today's episode, please go to copychief.com/TAM, as in Truth About Marketing. And if you'd like to learn more about how you can improve your sales copy with templates, formulas, coaching, feedback, or hiring a pro, do all that on the inside of the members area of copychief.com, and I will look for you there. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.